Hey, what's up, guys? Weston Hinkle with Signature Real Estate Group. We're coming on the tail end of winter here. We're entering into March, and I just wanted to give you my favorite things to do around Gillette in the winter. So we'll start off by showing you kind of a map of Northeast Wyoming. Gillette kind of centrally located. So if you go 60 minutes to the west, you'll run into Buffalo, Wyoming, and then 30 minutes north of there, you got Sheridan, Wyoming, and then you got the Bighorn Mountains range right there. The Bighorn Mountains are probably my favorite mountain range. Peaks over 13,000 feet, multiple access points. You got two different highways going over the top there, and then other little roads that go up from the bottom to explore. It's definitely a great place to do any sort of outdoor activity. If you want to go north of Gillette, anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes to the north, you got Burnt Hollow Recreation Area, Weston Hills Recreation Area, and Thunder Basin National Grassland. So a lot of government land that has a lot of trails, a lot of places to do some outdoor recreation. And it's a great place, cool landscapes, and kind of it's just a neat area that is kind of unique to this part of the state. And then if you go east, you'll run into Sundance, Wyoming, Hewlett, Wyoming. Sundance is about 45 minutes and Hewlett's about an hour away from Gillette. And right around there, you got the Bear Lodge Mountains and the Black Hills. So the Black Hills obviously extend into Wyoming, but most of them are in South Dakota. So if you keep going to the east, you'll run into the South Dakota side where even more of an opportunity to do some winter activities. So we'll jump right in. First one is skiing and snowboarding. If you love skiing and snowboarding, then we got a lot of options around Gillette, Wyoming that aren't too far away. Terry Peak is in South Dakota in the Black Hills. It's about an hour and a half from Gillette, and it's probably the largest ski resort around here within driving distance. Over 7,000 feet in elevation, about 1,000 feet of vertical drop, and they got multiple chairlifts, multiple runs. It's a great place to go, and it's not very far from Gillette. So lots of great skiing and snowboarding there. If you drive to the west, you'll run into Meadowlark Ski Lodge in the Bighorns. It's a little smaller than Terry Peak, but you're a little bit higher elevation. You're right in the middle of the Bighorns. So you got great snow most of the time. It's a little less packed than Terry Peak. So if you want maybe less people and more privacy, then Meadowlark is a great option. If you go north to Sheridan, you'll go run into Antelope Butte Ski Area, which is also in the Bighorns, kind of similar to Meadowlark, where it's not quite as busy as Terry Peak, but a lot of open places to ski and snowboard. The next thing is snowmobiling. So snowmobiling is a huge activity around Gillette in the winter. People come from all over the nation, honestly, to snowmobile. So you got the Bighorns and the Bear Lodge Mountains and Black Hills, two of the best places to snowmobile in the country. You got guided tours, hundreds and hundreds of miles of groomed trails and non-groomed trails. So many places that you can explore. Obviously, the Bighorns are going to be more higher in elevation. Maybe some more rugged stuff that you can get into. But the Black Hills, I mean, the scenery is just as good. Hundreds and hundreds of miles of trails that are groomed, and lots of opportunity for you to get out there and explore and hit different places every single day. The next thing is ice fishing. So probably my favorite thing to do is ice fish. Lake DeSmet is to the west, so about an hour, a little over an hour from Gillette, kind of by Buffalo. It's a great lake. You got walleye, trout, kokanee salmon, perch, great fish to fish for. It doesn't get too crowded, and you got the beautiful view of the Bighorn Mountains right there as well. So great place. My favorite place next would be Keyhole Reservoir. So it's only about 35 minutes from Gillette, and you got walleye, crappie, bass, pike, pretty much any kind of panfish that you can think of is in Keyhole. Right at the edge of the Black Hills and the Bear Lodge Mountains. You can see the Bear Lodge Mountains from right when you're fishing on Keyhole. So it's a beautiful place, kind of a unique reservoir in Northeast Wyoming, and it's an awesome place to have some fun ice fishing. If you don't have time to travel, you can just go to Gillette Fishing Lake. It's an 18-acre pond, and stocked with tiger and rainbow trout, bass, and catfish. So it's a great place for kids just to go enjoy. You got a few hours, you just want to go catch some fish or drill some holes in the ice, just go to the Gillette Fishing Lake and have some fun. Next thing would be cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, and hiking. So as I've kind of said before, the Bighorns, you got hundreds and hundreds of miles of trails that you can get into. You can spend years and years exploring different trails and whatnot, but endless amount of places that you can go whether it's skiing. If you don't have too much snow, you can just go some hiking, some snowshoeing if maybe there's a mix of both. So great options there. To the north of Gillette, not too far of a drive and maybe a little bit more private. Not too many people go north of Gillette. You got the Weston Hills Recreation Area, you got Burnt Hollow National Grassland, Thunder Basin National Grassland. So a bunch of trails up there, a little bit more untouched, so you might not run into as many people, but just as cool. The scenery is going to be different, a little bit lower elevation, but lots of pines, junipers, and cedars. Cool geography up there to the north of Gillette. And then, of course, if you go east, you got the Bear Lodge Mountains and Black Hills, and like I said before, it's same thing as the Bighorns. You got trails everywhere, you got multiple places, multiple access points, and it's just a beautiful place, a little bit differently. That's the cool thing about all of these places, that they're a little different, each one of them. So, I mean, just rotate from each one. You don't have to stick to the same place all the time, but there's so many options, and it's a blast. So if you have any questions on any of those places, I'd love to help you out and get you some information. And thanks for watching.